Yo, brand new Automaton Apparatus video. This video will be over Apparatus codename Splash. Apparatus codename Splash belongs to Elizabeth Tregamy. Elizabeth was one of the first 4 pilots chosen by Captain James Renegade. Elizabeth was only 16 when she was brought to the ODF and recruited as an apparatus pilot. She was originally the chemicals expert for the Charno family of the Soldiers District. The Charno family was the second most powerful family within the Soldier District, second only to the Javelin family. She became the chemicals expert after killing the original chemicals expert, who kidnapped her at the age of 5 for his experiments. After killing the chemicals expert and escaping at the age of 8, she became the new chemicals expert and began her plans of overthrowing the Charno family. Her time being a test subject left her face horribly scarred, and her voice forever changed. Once she was offered the chance to be a pilot, she decided that it may be easier to overthrow them from the safety of the ODF. Once she arrived at the ODF, she was given the needed spinal surgery and began her training. Apparatus codename Splash uses the skeletal type of piloting and was created with her in mind, meaning each weapon is chemical based. The entirety of her apparatus was not completed when the ALSDs returned and sent an assault of 5 ALSD apparatus. She demanded to be allowed to partake in the battle. The head of codename Splash was equipped with 4 legs and a rocket and given to her. She quickly jumped into battle and began to defend her new home. Once the battle ended, the engineers set to creating a body that could hold the head, making it able to detach and reattach as easily as hitting a button. Each of the apparatus weapons were created specifically to fit her expertise with chemicals and poisons, and some of the weapons actually contain her own personal chemical concoction. So yeah, that's the entirety of the backstory of it. Basically, I went way more into her backstory than I did with everyone else, but I don't know. I'm actually getting excited about all these characters that I'm making and everything, so they're starting to get more lore and backstory and everything. So any of you that are fans of anime may notice that this looks a lot like a certain stand from JoJo's, and I did not mean to do that, but I kind of like how I like how it came out, but I like that it looks like that specific stand too. But yeah, especially since its name is Apparatus codename Splash, it goes with, if you know which stand it is, you know why it goes with it. But yeah, the hidden mounted machine guns are these on these shoulders. They fire explosive 500 millimeter rounds. The machine gun holds 20,000 rounds and fires 1,000 rounds per second. The apparatus holds 5 extra ammunition cases. The guns are placed into the holder space to be hidden when deactivated and released when activated. Those little gray parts is where they flip down into. So yeah, basically exactly what apparatus codename Uno B and I don't think codename Spike has them. I cannot remember if I gave them to him. This right here, just right in the middle, is a massive beam of corrosive chemicals that were created by Elizabeth specifically for the apparatus using the multitude of tools available in the ODF. Right there is the compartment that ejects a barrel to load into the acidic beam rifle. The compartment holds up to 10 barrels at a time. The ejecting process takes around 30 seconds. That right there on the arm is the sludge gun, which is an arm-mounted gun that fires a slime-like substance that quickly hardens, causing it to become a hard shell that can withstand up to 5 tons of weight. And then his feet are rocket booster feet used for space use only. These make this apparatus one of the fastest of the skeletal type apparatus while in the vacuum of space. So it is really fast while it's in the vacuum of space whenever it is on those. But now I'll do the weapon last, since this is basically just a part of the apparatus, which, I mean, it is, but there's the head, and then there's the head. It becomes a screw, basically, and screws in, and then whenever it ejects, it screws out. But, that right there is a small long-range beam that is perfectly precise in its accuracy, that is able to pierce almost any object. When the beam pierces any object, it leaves a small amount of Elizabeth's own custom chemical concoction. So basically, it is a really thin beam rifle that leaves poison. That's basically it. These are hidden side-mounted machine guns. They are basically the same exact thing as the other ones, except the side-mounted machine guns fire explosive 500mm rounds. The machine gun holds 20,000 rounds and fires 200 rounds per second. The head holds 5 extra ammunition cases. The guns are placed into the holder space to be hidden when deactivated and released when activated. It is the exact same as the shoulder-mounted ones, except they only fire 200 rounds per second instead of 1,000, which is a lot. Quadruped legs. There we go. Ugh, almost killed me with that word. Quadruped legs makes the head able to walk in every direction and cling to any surface, even a completely vertical surface. I thought it would be cool if this thing moved like a spider or a crab, basically. There is the door to the pilot's quarters. This is like the only apparatus I think I'm going to make with the pilot's quarters being up in the head, just because the head is what detaches, and it's kind of the real apparatus, even though it is a lot smaller. And then that right there is the rocket. It is extremely effective and fast, but also extremely hard to steer and control. So yeah, as you can tell, the head looks like a rocket. It wasn't really meant to, but yeah, it all worked out in the end. I'm glad it looks like a rocket. Onto the weapon. The weapon was surprisingly hard to make. The upper trigger is trigger used to activate the liquid nitrogen-based beam. Yeah, it's liquid nitrogen based, which is, it took me a couple tries to figure out what exactly to do with this weapon. The lower trigger is trigger used to activate the 3 liquid chemical dispenser barrels. That right there is barrel holding the acidic concoction. The barrel can hold up to 50,000 gallons and can be easily changed out for another of the 10 held in Splash's hidden compartment. These 3 little nozzles, or not really little, they're long and thin. 3 nozzles used to spray the enemy with an acidic chemical. The liquid chemical can spray up to 600 feet before losing most accuracy. The chemicals are able to melt through most things. And then I couldn't... Okay, I'll tell you what it originally was after I'm done with this. The barrel that fires a massive beam of freezing cold liquid nitrogen. This beam is able to instantly freeze the acid or acidic chemicals and fire them at insane speeds, creating a spike launcher. The beam can also deal massive damage to enemies, not quite going directly through them, but hitting them like a truck and leaving massive frostbite damage. So, as it is, I think it's really good. It's like a super soaker and then a spike launcher whenever it freezes it. But how it was at first was these bent down and then just kind of sprayed into one little ball, and then the beam would shoot it. The beam would shoot and it would mix together. I don't know. I didn't think that was as cool as this. But yeah, it's like a Mr. Freeze gun with a poison that turns into icicles. It is cool. I do like that weapon, actually. Now that I wasn't really a huge fan of what I made at first, but now that I actually talk about it, it seems goofy and really just it seems like something a mech would have. I don't know. I like it. I don't really need this stuff to be really super realistic or anything. I feel like everyone that's been watching this knows that by now, but yeah. That was everything about Apparatus Codename Splash. I really hope that you are all liking the Automaton Apparatus stuff that's coming out. I know this is a quicker video than I've been making, but comment what videos y'all would want to see, because I have I haven't even talked about the actual story. I have all that figured out basically. Um, so if you want to see the story, or I can do a few non-canon ones of these, because I have a few ideas for some absolutely goofy ones and some absolutely just really cool ones, honestly, like some anime type ones. I'm talking like some Gundams basically. But yeah, this was all for this video, and please like, subscribe if you like anything I do on my channel. Subscribe. If you don't, subscribe. But yeah, I really do hope you guys like the Automaton Apparatus stuff I've been making. I've been really liking making it, and I'm looking forward to actually making some more of it, and yeah, see ya.